Hello, my spicy friends. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the newly buffed Rollout Dunsparce. Now, as you can see here, Rollout got buffed from 5 to 8 damage, which is pretty great. That now means that it can actually farm stuff down, deal decent chip damage throughout the battle. I don't know for sure if this makes it an Incinerate clone, I forget, but I do know that it is a very good move now. It's very good. Dunsparce is definitely very happy to have it. I mean, it's had for a while now, but this move being buffed now means that Dunsparce isn't really a dedicated core breaker. Now it's a pretty solid Pokemon on its own. Like, it can handle neutral matchups just fine. Doesn't need to break Trevenant, Lantern, Noctowl like it used to. It kind of fell off because there's nothing for it to do, but now it's actually a pretty good Pokemon on its own. So let's take a look at some pretty cool Dunsparce battles at the start of this new season. And yeah, enjoy. So we've got the first battle of the season here. I think it's like the max out season or something. Season of maxing, whatever. I know these seasons used to have like a number count to them, but I've kind of lost track. I think we're at about like season 18 or 20 or something along those lines. You guys are going to have to tell me that. I might look it up later. So very, very good lead matchup right here. As you can see, they are running Hex Jellicent, which is great since that means it can't really do anything to us. It might be running Surf, but considering the fact that it's just hitting us with Bubble Beam after Bubble Beam, I think the chances of that are very unlikely. I really doubt it. I think that's what's happening is that they're just trying to, I don't know, maybe hope we don't throw anything and they might win. But yeah, this is pretty great. We're just gonna beat them, and then my plan here. My plan here is it has been a while since I've actually played Go Battle League. My apologies, people. I just got really, really bored with the last season. It did not bother playing at all. I probably played like maybe 20, 30, 40 games the whole season. It didn't even clear the first page of the Go Battle Pass. I did not care. So maybe I'm a little rusty, but my general plan was to farm up a ton of energy on that Jellicent, and then maybe try to, after that, I guess just switch Dunsparce out to something else. So they had a Shadow Granbull, which was not a super great matchup for Dunsparce, as you can probably imagine, since even though Rollout got a damage buff, it's still kind of weak to fast move pressure. I mean, Dunsparce had a decent amount of health there, but still, I think Granbull could have gotten a pretty good farm down there. So my plan was just switch into Cresselia, which is a pretty decent safe switch option, and bait out their whatever else they had. I guess whatever else could have protected Granbull from my poison type. Now, as you can see, they just barely won this matchup, which is about what I was expecting. Mew usually can do okay in a Cresselia, so I was just going to farm down with Dunsparce because what were they going to do, really? Go for a drill run on Granbull, and it's pretty much over since Poison Sting reaches Sludge Bomb crazy quickly. It's insane. And that's another reason I'm using Clodsire with Dunsparce today, because Clodsire also got buffed. I'm sure you'll see plenty of YouTube videos about that in your recommendations soon, but that's what you need to know. Clodsire is now a meta threat. It always kind of was when it got released, but then Skarmory dropped. Or got buffed, I should say. Skarmory has always been there for all of PvP. It just, Clodsire can't really do anything into Skarmory, so Skarmory being good for 2 seasons kind of stole all of Clodsire's thunder, but now that Skarmory is nerfed into the ground, or at least nowhere near as common as it once was, I think it's definitely time for a Clodsire comeback. At least as long as it avoids Mandibuzz. Although maybe if you run like Poison Sting, Stone Edge Clodsire, I could see it having some pretty good play in Mandibuzz. It's just, yeah, actually I think the matchup would be even. I don't know what I was thinking. For a second, I was thinking Mudshot, but Mudshot got all reworked, so I think it's like a Sand Attack clone now or something. I just don't care, man. It's not good. It's not as good, at least. So, yeah, what else there to say? You know, this is a little bit scary. We don't really want to see this. We don't really want to see this zoom rail right here. They've got a shield advantage on us. So we're just going to have to rely on Clodsire's natural excellent bulk to tank an Ice Beam and maybe threaten a shield back, you know? What else can we really do? Yeah, so we're just going to go for a Sludge Bomb right here. Knock him out. I don't really think I could have gone for an undercharge and farmed down because their bubbles still would have threatened us quite a bit. And I think I made the right call here since Clodsire really needs to use it. The opponent's Clodsire really needed to reach an Earthquake to threaten me here. Just because Clodsire's Stone Edge or Sludge Bomb does like no damage to other Clodsire. Boy. So they're gonna go for Stone Edge. As you can see, it does a decent amount of damage, like 20%, but we still can live several poison things. So I'm gonna save my Clodsire for later and just go for an aggressive farm down Cresselia on this Trevenant, which is a bit of a risky play, but whatever. You know, we're gonna tank that Seed Bomb like a pro, and in comes our Clodsire again. We got plenty of energy, but Clodsire is a tank. Yeah, Clodsire is a very tanky Pokemon, folks. This might actually be my tankiest team I've ever run. You know, Clodsire, Cresselia, Dunsparce, they all have very high bulk for the Great League, which you can definitely see. You know, this is we're on like what minute? We're on minute 7, and this is only our second match. It's ridiculous, man. This team takes forever to kill, so I don't know if I would recommend it if you're just looking to grind fast, but I would recommend it in general as a very good team. I know these are literally the first games of the season and everything. You know, everything about the first couple matches of this season are iffy, since you've got, well, you've got trainers of all sorts of skill levels going up against you. So, you know, anything can happen, which I think is fun, you know, makes for fun content. It's fun to play the first couple sets, first couple levels, all that stuff. Boom. They unfortunately tank the Earthquake with a shield. That's not tanking, that's shielding, but whatever. This is the part where I just unload everything on Clodsire, because I need to kill it with a charge move, because like I said earlier, Clodsire resists Poison Sting very, very well, but it also resists Rollout pretty well, thanks to its ground typing. And Rollout is not a particularly strong move still. It's like fine, I think. I don't know what the damage per turn is on Rollout. I could check. Hang on. PvP moves. I'm looking at move stats on my phone right now. Just give me a second. Okay, moves. Rollout. Okay, Rollout has 2.66 damage per turn, which is very slightly less than the average of 3. Although actually moves being 3 damage per turn might be a little bit outdated now, you know. Everything's just getting stronger and stronger, which I think is fun. I am on board with it. But I also think that, yeah, Rollout isn't like a really good move for damage, but it's better than it was before, which was terrible. Anyway, Typhlosion's on the field now, and Typhlosion is a pretty scary Pokemon, as I'm sure you saw that Blast Burn did a pretty crazy amount of damage to my Cresselia. So we're just going to bring in Dunsparce and Rock Slide before things get out of hand. In comes Quagsire, and I'm thinking it might be over, but check this out, folks. It gets better. It gets interesting. Very interesting, trust me. So we're going to go for the Drill Run here. That does a solid like 33% or so, I would say, like a solid third of its health, which not bad, but not great either. Anyway, in comes Clodsire. I'm sure, as many of you know, Primarina now has access to Hydro Cannon thanks to its Community Day last week, which, again, because of Go Battle League fatigue, I barely felt any interest in playing. So I didn't really care. But I still have a Hydro Cannon Primarina, I just didn't really care. But anyway, I probably should have farmed down there, just because it would have been nice to have a little bit of energy, should have undercharged, whatever. My mistake. So I'm thinking it might be over here, folks. It might be over. Quagsire's coming in. It might hit me with an Earthquake, but instead it goes for Stone Edge, which is an interesting play. I'll give it that. It is an interesting play. They may not know that ground resists rock. They probably know now. You know, it happens. It happens. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we just don't know. There are some obscure type matchups that it takes people a while to learn. It happens. So we're gonna go for the, drill run there because, like I said, ground resists rock, and as a result, Rock Slide would not do very much damage to Quag. So it's time for the race. I'm gonna bring in Clodsire, and I need to reach a Sludge Bomb quickly because otherwise we might not win. We might not win, folks. You know what? Quagsire's going for Aqua Tail. That is the move which will deal more damage. And we were like 1 or 2 mud shots away from getting KO'd. So, a very close battle. I don't really know if I earned that win. I probably did not. But, you know what? It was intense. And I appreciate intense battles. Next game, I believe, is the opponent with Carnivine. Is this a Carnivine guy? It is the Carnivine guy. Thank you, sir. Carnivine is a very cool Pokemon. I love its design. I like its moveset. It's very interesting. It could really use a buff, though. I think Power Whip plus Crunch is interesting, but, you know, it could really use like 1 or 2 more moves. You know, maybe like a Spam Your Grass move, if any of those exist. If any such move even does exist, that would be very cool. Anyway, we're going to hit him with a Rock Slide, since Grass resists Ground. You know, you really gotta know those type matchups, folks, but even, especially with Dunsparce, you know, the obscure ones might trip you up a little. Thankfully, that's not the case here. We're gonna hit him with another Rock Slide and deal about, 35-40% with that. Decent amount. We're gonna immediately switch in Clodsire and go for the aggressive farm down. I think I may have been a little bit distracted when I was playing this battle, because you know, just with other stuff, I've got a lot to take care of besides just my Go Battle League career, and I did not notice that this Exeggutor was actually only 1380 CP. No hate, you know, that's just the way it is. The first couple sets of Go Battle League, you could be up against literally anyone. And I'm sure my opponent might just be new to the game, which is totally fair, you know? We all gotta start somewhere. And I respect the Alolan Exeggutor Spice, but sadly for my opponent, Clodsire kind of just dunks all over it. Anyway, Carnivine's coming back in. I think I'm just going to shield up, because Carnivine can hit decently hard, and again, just go for the aggressive farm down. Just farm them down. Crunch is an interesting choice. They probably could have gone for just like Power Whip or something if they had it. Carnivine usually runs Power Whip. I would know because I built one. But I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb and Earthquake combo here. And if that's not enough, I might just switch to something else. Let's see how much Earthquake does. It's a good amount. It's not enough, though, because Clodsire is going to go down. So let's bring in Cresselia. I believe Orianguru now has access to Brutal Swing, which would hurt Cresselia quite a bit. Probably not enough to threaten it or even really get below half, but it's a noteworthy move that it can learn now. And sadly, we don't see how much damage it does. That would be really cool if we saw how much damage it did, but we don't. Final match of the set, I believe, and it's up against a Goodra. Goodra is an interesting Pokemon. It's like, out of all the dragons you could use, it's fine. It's got Aqua Tail now, which is pretty cool. That can help it out in some matchups for sure, but I mean, it might help here. It would help the opponent here, you know, because what am I even trying to say? Dunsparce is spammy, Goodra can be kind of spammy, and Goodra has, no question about it, better fast pressure here. So we're down a shield, and we have similar amounts of HP. If they shield here, I might just, again, go for another aggressive farm down, say bye-bye to Dunsparce, you did your best. They're not bringing in any fighters or anything like that, which I'm a little sad about, because, well, Clodsire and Cresselia, they love to see fighting types. Cresselia might be a little scared of Pangoro, but, you know, can still hit it with Moonblast. That's pretty cool. Even though Future Sight got nerfed. I mean, it got Future Sight nerfed, so, you know, it's just going to be running, what am I getting at here? It's just going to be running Moonblast now. That's all Cresselia really needs or wants right now. So, Skarmory's here. I was not expecting to see a Skarmory today, but it looks like the Steel Wing nerf wouldn't have bothered this person because they're running Air Slash. Or maybe it did bother them, and that's why they're running Air Slash. Whatever. Either way, this is a Pokemon that my team can handle, as you can see. It's a little scary, but we can handle this because of our repeated earthquakes. It's pretty fast now. It's pretty fast. Earthquake's coming out, dealing about a third of its HP. Poison Sting isn't really dealing any damage, but that's okay. I'm gonna bring in Dunsparce and just like pray they don't shield this Rock Sled. I'm really counting on them not shielding it. Let's see here. What are they gonna do? They're gonna not shield it, thank goodness. So now we're going to tie, and I'm going to bring in one of my Pokemon, my final Pokemon, my Cresselia, against whatever they have in the back. Fingers crossed, and it's a Lantern. Alright, this is workable. This is definitely workable. We're going to hit him with a Grass Knot, and it's going to do a pretty good amount of damage here. Not knock him out, because Lantern's a fat fuck, but we're just going to... what am I getting at here? Yeah, so... we definitely have this one in the bag now. Lantern Surf got buffed, nerfed, whatever you want to call it. Deals more damage, but takes longer to reach, which is fine by me, since Surf being so fast was the reason it was overpowered. No one complained about Hydro Pump Lantern. You feel me? Anyway, that was a fun first set with Dunsparce. I'm really glad to revisit this guy again, as some of you may know, one of my favorite Pokemon, and I'm very glad Dunsparce is viable again. Thanks for watching, everyone, and remember, stay spicy.